We got Jason Guyton of Guyton Wrestling here. And, Jason, you're wanting to start up you are currently starting up a wrestling academy here in North Alabama.
That is correct.
And for those who don't know, this is wrestling, not wrestling. Yeah, we're not going to be
real stuff.
We're not running around the ring, bouncing off the top rope in the turnbuckles or nothing like that.
We're not bleeding.
We're not bleeding. Yeah. So no, this is actually wrestling, high school, and tell us a little bit about what you know about the tradition here at Athens in North Alabama.
Well, I was brought up to speed very quickly when we did our first camp almost about 2 weeks ago over there at Athens High School. Coach Campbell, excellent job hosting the camp. Athens in the 80s and 90s was like one of the teams to beat, not just locally but in the nation. Athens High School was ranked nationally in late 80s, early 90s. So they've got a tremendous history, a tremendous coach that was working here for so many years and still is, trying to make sure that people don't forget that we do have wrestling, not just football and basketball.
Right.
There's Coach Darryl Qualls, right?
That's correct.
Exactly right. Good memory, Tojo.
Legendary.
And he left Athens, went to Scottsboro, right? And then he came back. Is that right?
I think so, yeah. Because wrestling is big over in Scottsboro as well. They have a huge wrestling program over there. I have the Scottsboro connection. My girlfriend lives over there, so we picked up a new sponsor from Scottsboro. We've got a former Elmont coach who's coaching at Scottsboro. So, but yes, it was.
I want to say Scottsboro took second in state last year.
I think you're right.
Yep.
Now, how long's the state tournament been in Huntsville?
Several years.
Oh, really?
Several. It's been over 5. And they've got a great venue down there at the VBC, beautiful area. They're building up that area and making it even more beautiful. A lot of hotels located next to that dome, so it's a great host for the state tournament.
And that kind of goes back to what we were talking about before the show. The word is not getting out about
it's got to
wrestling
improve.
and about where it's.
Yeah, it's got to improve. Like myself, I've lived here, for a couple of years now. My wife is actually from Athens, Alabama, Ashley Gilbert. Talking. Shout out to her real quick, but
you can wave at
but Ashley Guyton, but her last name is Gilbert of the great Gilbert family here in Athens, Alabama. But it's just spreading the word and letting people know that people like myself are here, wanting to work with kids from 3rd grade all the way up to 12th, and trying to build a powerhouse of our own. Wrestling is not just in Birmingham.
That's what I was going to lead up to. The concern a lot of days, this day and time, with parents have with football is, the concussions and everything like that. But wrestling is a viable option where your brain is not taking, if you love football, you love football, and I do love the game. But wrestling, if you're a parent and you're concerned about that, you get your child started in, like you said, 3rd grade, and the strength and conditioning in wrestling is amazing. Mm-hmm. It's tough.
It is.
Yeah, it's A1. I tell parents all the time, especially if you have football players, they need to be wrestling. Those sports go hand in hand. If you know of Hall of Fame names like Ray Lewis, you've got Deion Sanders, I wanted to say, did a couple of escapades in wrestling. Stephen Neal, the great offensive lineman for the New England Patriots. Yeah. All of these guys not just wrestled, but on a high level, and it helped them with body positioning. It helped them with grappling on the field. It even helped them with, the aggressiveness that sometimes all of the kids don't have. These are things that football coaches I have found have thanked us for, the wrestling community, for preparing much better football players.
Now, wrestling season runs from January to?
It's like a winter sport.
Yeah, it's definitely high school. Anyway. Yeah, high school season is a winter sport. So it normally goes from they start practicing in October, and then the state tournament is normally in February.
Oh, okay.
So let's say somebody has a kid they want to get into wrestling, or let's just say there's a young man out there listening. Now, is it male and female or just male?
It is male and female.
Male and female.
Wow.
People do not realize there's a young lady in the Midwest that just signed a 4-year full scholarship for wrestling to a Division II school. Those scholarships are available for males and females.
You said she signed a 4-year scholarship to a Division II school.
Wow.
You don't think about that until your kid goes to college. Yeah. And then you really think about it when the student loans come calling a little bit after that.
Absolutely.
You know something about that.
I know. Look, my kids know more about it than I do, but yeah, that was our agreement. We'd help them if they stayed local, but if you want to chase your dreams and play football and be in the band,
that's what they say about women's golf. High school golf. There's a lot of scholarships out there, and a lot of girls don't take advantage. There's some girls that don't take advantage of.
Absolutely.
Well, there's scholarships out there that you just don't think about
would
be out there.
Yeah, well, you got to look at with the wrestling, just like with a lot of sports. You got Division I, you got Division II, Division III, NAIA. You've got JUCO. You've got a lot of options as far as being able to continue your education.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, do you have a website we can shoot out there for everybody?
We're basically Guyton Wrestling on Twitter. If you look that up, you'll find it. Guyton Wrestling on Instagram. We tend to use those sites because the younger people associated with it a lot quicker. And Facebook as well, Guyton Wrestling. If they want to contact us, GuytonWrestling@gmail.com. We're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Spell Guyton just so they don't die. I've got it written down here. But
Guyton, a guy that weighs a ton. Guyton.
Dude, you even said that before, hadn't you?
And wrestles.
And wrestles, that's right.
Well, now your facility, is it up and you got something up and running, or are you're trying to get it started? And where is it at?
Well, 3 years down the road, we're actually going to build an in-house facility. So we're going to build our own facility that will probably be located in the Harvest area. But at this time right now, we've got Athens High School. We've got a good relationship with them. But Sparkman is probably going to be the weekly home base. That's not excluding anyone. Regardless of what school you go to, we're focused on North Alabama. But the Sparkman family has been very receptive. And Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., we're there for kids 3rd grade to the 12th.
Wow. And I'm guessing you're one of the wrestling coaches over there at Sparkman?
Not just, well,
you got the Senator Wrestling shirt on.
Well, the name of the youth program that we're going to travel with in the summer is actually going to be called the Senator Youth Wrestling.
Okay.
Excellent.
That's good.
You said Monday through Friday?
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Sparkman 9th grade gym.
All right.
And you say you're going to be traveling with it. Is it like travel softball? Any other travel sport? Or?
Yes, this will be a travel team. So basically what will happen is after the high school season is over, that's when the real season as far as like youth wrestling and high school age wrestling in the summer. So from March all the way through July, we look to take kids from 3rd grade to 12th grade, to places like Illinois, Oklahoma, Iowa, and let them really get to experience good wrestling.
You mentioned that the Midwest is where a lot of the real good wrestling goes on there.
The Midwest and the East Coast, so like Pennsylvania, you got good stuff going on in New York and things of that nature, but the Midwest is the heart of where wrestling in the United States is right now.
Wow.
Excellent. That's great. I'm glad we're.
I didn't know girls could wrestle.
I know, right?
It's been growing for years, but now it's gotten to the point where they're actually getting scholarships. And women's wrestling is actually an Olympic sport, and it's a world-class sport now. So there's a lot of opportunities for young ladies. If they're a little bit more aggressive and want to see a different side of life, choose wrestling.
Speaking of that, okay, I was thinking we were getting ready to wind down, but another thought crossed my mind. In the Olympics, there's 2 or 3 different types of wrestling. You have your classic wrestling, your Greco-Roman wrestling. What do you guys focus on mainly? Or is it the classic wrestling we know about? Or
the classic catch as catch can that's the motto phrase for it.
Catch as catch can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dan Gable made that popular. We focus on that normally during the fall and the early parts of the spring, but the summertime that will be freestyle and Greco-Roman wrestling.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about Greco-Roman. Because they have that in the Olympics. And
I just when I think of Greco-Roman, I think about this guy, the American who beat the Bear from Russia, the undefeated, huge, and he beat this guy.
Reuben Gardner.
Yes, Reuben Gardner. That's who it was.
That's it.
Yeah, and on the gold medal stand, he's just jumping around. He's like Gollum when he got the ring. He's just jumping around like he's very happy.
Reuben Gardner was a very tough competitor. A lot of people didn't know that he had toes that were amputated.
Oh, my goodness.
So this guy, from I think it was a weather-related incident, toes that were amputated, he beat Alexander Karelin, who was the Russian monster.
Yeah.
And his last match, which was a World Cup or Olympic level match, he left his shoes in the center of the match, and that was his
swan song.
farewell. Yeah.
Oh.
I'll be dang. How cool. Well, all right. That's just a wealth of information there. Tremendous opportunity for your children.
Yeah.
And to be strong, to learn balance, to learn strength, coordination.
And, like I said, we think only Athens and East and James Clemens around here only has a wrestling program, in this county area.
Well,
so
here's the deal. You get the funding is there for coaches for wrestling at every school.
Yeah.
You get 2 or 3 to 4 kids that come out and are wrestling with Coach Guyton here, and then they go back to their school, and trust me, you get a mother that's a bulldog, she'll stay in that principal's office wanting that coaching money.
You're absolutely correct.
We're going to throw a few mats down in the gym, and we're going to wrestle here.
Yeah.
Not wrestle. We ain't jumping off the top rope. So, but, yes, it's a very good opportunity. I encourage all parents to encourage their kids and get in that principal's office.
Especially get to go out in the Midwest and see where it was,
Yeah, exactly.
the cream of the crop right
That's
there.
right.
It's flat out there in the
That's
Midwest. It sure is. You get north of Lubbock, man, your dog could run away, and 3 days later you can still see his tail when he's running. That's how flat it is out there.
It is.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to look into the YouTube camera and say it's time to take a break. Y'all been listening to Apple. Thank you, Coach Guyton, for coming on, man, and stay in touch.
Appreciate
Good
it.
luck on your venture, and let's get North Alabama back on the map.
It was
Ashley,
my pleasure.
He did great.
He did great, Ashley. He did.
It was my pleasure, and War Eagle.
War Eagle, baby. That's right. Can't
Roll
forget
Tide.
that. You've been listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk. We'll be right back.